For what felt like forever, football gaming was really a two-horse race. But then, one day, one of those giants just kind of disappeared. Today, we're going to get into the story of how Pro Evolution Soccer, a name so many of us grew up with, completely transformed into something new. We'll look at why a legend of the genre had to totally change its identity just to stay in the game. You know, it's a question a lot of us have probably asked. One minute, PES was a household name, and the next, it's gone, replaced by this thing called eFootball. So what really happened there? Well, to get the full picture, we've got to go back to the very beginning. Okay, so before we jump into the big switch, let's take a second to remember what made PES so special. For almost 20 years, this wasn't just another game. For a huge, passionate fan base, it was the only football game that mattered. This whole journey actually kicks off way back in 1995 with International Superstar Soccer. But the golden era, the one we all remember, really started in 2001 when it became Pro Evolution Soccer. For the next 19 years, PES built this incredible legacy, all the way up to 2020, when the final whistle blew on the PES brand as we knew it. Just like that, a huge chapter in gaming history was closed. So, what was the secret sauce? It was all about the gameplay. PES was famous for its deep, realistic simulation of the sport. I mean, ask anyone who played it back in the day, and they will go on and on about the ball physics. It just felt right, It felt like actual football. And that pure authenticity built this fiercely dedicated esports community and made it a genuine threat in the football gaming world. But here's the thing. While PES was busy perfecting its magic formula, the entire gaming world around it was, it was changing a lot. And that old model of just releasing a new, full-price game every single year was starting to look a little rusty. And that right there became the million-dollar question for Konami. I mean, think about it. When you've got games like Fortnite that are always online, always changing, always getting free updates, how do you keep convincing people to shell out $60 for a new disc every single September? The ground was literally shifting under their feet. You can really break this down into three huge game-changing shifts. First, free-to-play games absolutely blew up, and that changed what everyone expected to pay. Then you had the live service model take over, where games became these ongoing services instead of a one-and-done purchase. And finally, the esports boom made a game's online competitive scene more important than absolutely anything else. The old PES model, it was fighting a war on three fronts, and it was a tough one. So Konami didn't just tweak their game plan. Nope, they threw the entire playbook out the window. They decided to just lean right into these changes, blow the whole thing up, and start fresh with a totally new name and a new philosophy: eFootball. So what in the world is eFootball? At its heart, it's a complete pivot. It's not a product you buy every year anymore. Think of it as a free, digital platform that's built to evolve and update over time. The name really says it all. The focus is on football as a digital, electronic sport that's always on. And when you put them side by side like this, wow, it really hits you just how massive this change was. PES was a paid game you bought every year. eFootball is free. PES was about the annual boxed release. eFootball is about constant updates. PES had offline and online modes. eFootball is laser-focused on esports. And maybe the biggest deal of all, eFootball aims to unite everyone on console, PC, and mobile. I mean, it is a total 180-degree shift in thinking. So you can see exactly what they did, right? Every single one of these pillars is a direct response to those big industry changes we just talked about: free-to-play, live service, an esports focus, and cross-platform play. Konami wasn't just trying to keep up, they were trying to build a brand new model for the future. Look, this whole thing was so much more than just a simple name change. It really felt like a signal of a potential new era for the entire sports gaming genre, a move away from the way things had been done for decades. And the year it all went down, 2021, that was the landmark year. When eFootball 2022 launched, the change was official. The name Pro Evolution Soccer, after this incredible 20-year run, was officially put on the shelf. For real, the end of an era. When you boil it all down, the story of PES becoming eFootball is really about one huge shift in thinking. They stopped selling a product once a year and started providing an ongoing, evolving service to players all over the world. And of course, that leaves us with a really big, fascinating question. For what comes next? Konami took a massive, risky bet here. So is this the future? Is this always-on free-to-play model where every major sports game is headed? Konami's betting on it, but I guess only time will tell.